everyone, Gaara here, welcome to a brand new deck tech video. Today I want to talk to you guys about my new Paladin control deck, and without further ado, let's just jump right into it. So here's the deck list. As you guys can see, I've been playing control Paladin in the past 3 days. Pretty much only control Paladin on my stream, and I've been constantly trying to improve the list, and this is my current list. I have a sample size of around 80 games right now, and I'm at 61% win rate. I'm at around rank 1, almost legend, and this is my current list. So I want to get into the most interesting techs of the deck. First of all, I decided to play 3 weapons, Rolling Blade and Double True Silver Champion. As you guys can see, I'm playing the Curator version, and I have 2 dragons, 2 beasts and 2 murlocs, and I think that is optimal if you're running Curator, just for consistency purposes. And it also adds an additional possibility of choosing Curator if you get it from the Stonehill Defender. Also, you don't get punished too much by drawing like the one-off in your deck before you play the Curator. It is very unlikely that you will draw both beasts, both murlocs and both dragons before you get to play the Curator. But in general, I always mulligan them away in every matchup, and I just want to draw them from the Curator. Let's get to the tags. Let's kick this off with Dark Conviction. Well, the main reason why I play Dark Conviction is, first of all, I'm facing way more control decks right now on the ladder than aggro decks, and that is definitely the main reason for it. Another reason for it is that I'm playing so many weapons. I'm playing the Uta, I'm playing the Tyrion, the Double True Silver, the Rolling Blade. So that is the main synergy with the Dark Conviction. But on top of it, I have the double Hammer of Wrath as well, and I will get into that later. So when you have these combo cards, it really makes the Dark Conviction a nice single target removal. But yeah, the main reason why I play Dark Conviction is because for some reason I'm facing a lot of Big Priest on ladder nowadays. And Big Priest, if you're hitting the barns on 4, has threat after threat after threat after threat. Even though Control Paladin is still extraordinarily well in dealing with big minions, you're still gonna run out of removals. Like, even though you have double equality, double Aldo, the Tarim, you're still gonna run out of removal. So on top of everything, I'm running the Dark Conviction. But not just that, I think against other control decks, like the Jade Druid for instance, when the Jades are getting bigger, even though you're mostly relying on hitting the Skulking guys relatively early, you still have to pretty much deal with all the remaining Jades, and the Dark Conviction really helps with that. I'm still testing this card, but for now I really enjoy it just because of the high popularity of control decks on ladder. So the other early game is pretty standard. What is interesting is the beast that I decided on running is 1 Ironbeak Owl and 1 Stampeding Kodo. I exchanged the Spellbreaker for the Ironbeak Owl because I had first double Golakka Crawler in my deck, and I just really didn't like it so much because obviously against control decks it is not that powerful. Against aggressive decks it is only good against Pirate for most of the time. Against aggro druid you really want to hit the Doomsayer. So overall I just didn't like the Golakka Crawler. Then I played 1 Golakka Crawler, but now I'm just testing new things just because again I'm facing way more control decks than aggro decks on ladder. So it's more like an anti-control but still low curve control Paladin deck. And yeah, the Ironbeak Owl, I think 1 silence is very nice to have. It's this beast, and that is obviously the main reason. I'm definitely not running the Ironbeak Owl because of her stats, because those are obviously terrible. I'm a big fan of the Stampeding Kodo. I don't know why most control Paladin players are cutting that card. It is always good. In the mid game, you take out most of the opponent's minions. In late game, you always have this nice Aldo Kodo combo to take out any minion. And yeah, so many people are running Doomsayers, you know. Against Druid you have so many like Scarabs. Even aggro Druids have like so many Scarabs, which are so pesky to deal with. A lucky Kodo sometimes can really swing the game, and also against Finja, against Murloc Paladin, and like Kodo can win you the game, but if it's not winning you the game, it oftentimes just finds a nice target, you know. Razakus Priests have like a lot of minions you can take out, so I really like the Kodo in my deck. And again, I think it's nice to have a silence, and I want to run at least 2 beasts, so if I would not be running the Ironbeak Owl, I would be running double Kodo. So again, I like the weapons. It's like one of the best cards you can have besides the Doomsayer as an anti-aggro tool. And as I said, I don't like the Golakka Crawlers too much right now. A card that is really nice in my opinion is the Hammer of Wrath. First, I started off playing 1 Hammer of Wrath. Whenever I drew this card, it felt amazing. Aggro Druid is actually the most popular aggressive deck you face, and it has the 2 mana taunt and the 3 mana taunt guy, which you simply can't deal with as Paladin. They play the taunt guy, and behind the taunt guy they're hiding the fledgling, the sneaky fledgling, and Mammoth Paladin does actually the same. They play the Righteous Protector, you know, very sneaky, behind it the War Leader, and you can't kill the War Leader and the fledgling. The Hammer of Wrath is actually perfect at taking out these minions hiding behind the taunt. And yeah, it's a very nice card, and you need card draw. And I was testing Leon Hands, I was testing Acolyte, but you know, if you play Acolyte, the Razakus Priest is abusing it. They silence it, they paint it, they steal it with the Potion of Madness, you know. Acolyte is just not that great in my opinion, but the Hammer of Rev really has nice uses. You really need to draw cards. I don't like Leon Hands, and yeah, it's performing really well for me, and it's a nice combo card with the Relic Blade and the True Silver Champion, just to be flexible in what you want to take out. And it is a nice combo card with the Dark Conviction as well. And sometimes, you know, if you have Repentance on a big minion, you don't want to face tank it, and then you can also use the Hammer of Wrath to save some life, because life is crucial. We are not running Forbidden Healing, we have very few healing cards, no Ivory Knights, we only have True Silver Champion, Ultra and Ragnaros, so saving life is crucial. And yeah, Skulking Guys, I think it's very mandatory in Control Paladin. It is definitely the most important card against Jade Druids, and it's performing really well for me, and it's also very good versus priests, all sorts of priests. The big priest actually runs up to 6 1-mana spells, and you know, very nice value there. And yeah, that's the list, you know, pretty standard. So I'm also gonna show you some gameplay, stay tuned for that, and I'll be back right after. Alright, I'm facing a priest here. I actually like Wild Pyromancer against the priest as a 2-drop, because it contests the cleric and punishes him if he decides to play the cleric on turn 1. Oftentimes they play the cleric on turn 1 because it prevents hero power on turn 2. Also, like, you know, hydrologist and whatnot, just decides to not play it. I like the Pyromancer also for the pressure. Definitely one way to beat priest is pressure. Actually, the most priests that I'm facing on ladder right now are big priests and silence priests. Very few Razakus priests. Maybe people are like, you know, practicing those decks because they're like better in the mirror. I definitely picked the Curator here. It's super powerful in my deck. Makes the second Curator in my deck kinda weak. This is like an indication for probably Razakus Priest. I've seen this also in Silence Priest actually. I have to do this trade. The only question is which weapon I decide to use. Obviously the True Silver here. As I would have attacked with the Wild Pyromancer and used the Running Blade, but it's obviously better to use the weaker minion to trade into the Dark Reaper and then go like mana wise on curve. You kinda want to utilize the worst weapon first because of cards like this, but the trade was just so much better with the True Silver and the minion. So this is Razakus. This kind of confirms the Razakus. After seeing the rules, we just go for the next weapon and go hero power. We could have just actually played the Pyromancer here. I like emptying my hand when I have too many cards in my hand, but right now I feel like it's... Also, I don't want to play the Wild Pyromancer when I can potentially play the Hammer of Wrath. I don't want to clear my own board. So usually I would like to use the weapon plus the Hammer of Wrath. So now that I didn't draw anything playable, I kinda like cycling the Hammer of Wrath just to spend my mana this turn. He could have went for a Resurrection Potion. I think the best players always go for a 1 mana potion because it maximizes the damage you get after the Resur. But on ladder most of the people just go for the 5 mana potion. It's pretty powerful, they always go for the draw. Extremely powerful actually. Just go for the Curator and curve. Actually I trade the Taunt first so he can't value trade. I take so much base damage, which I obviously don't want to, but it is what it is. You can even coin out the Razar here. I mean the Anduin.
I hope you like my invention.
The end is coming!
So let's see. I can silence this or I can Kudo it. Sometimes they play the shield turtle. I can Aldo Kodo any minion. Do I silence it? But if I silence it, it's not reliable enough, the Kodo anymore. So I kinda have to Kodo it. I go Kodo and then Hydrologist. I drew a dragon, which is a bit annoying, but he played a lot of cheap minions. Could be difficult for him for now to play around Repentance.
Now, the battle! Do not touch.
I don't trade because he can't really deal with the 4-attack minion. Or he has to attack and then Dragonfire Potion, something like that. That's obviously the biggest punish for me. I don't know if I want to value trade. Okay, so I'm very low HP, so I kind of want to play the Tyrion after the Unwin, not before.
Let the pain speak to me.
Yeah, right now he's just winning big time. Just getting stuff on the board, which is hard for him to kill. He played a Kazakus potion already. He doesn't have the pin-sized combo. He's only like circle Aukenai. So this is good for pressuring him. The Dragonfire potion doesn't do anything. He's cycling it, he's even healing my guy. He's cycling the cheap Anduin spells as well. I don't like his turn whatsoever. He's cycling Mind Blast. Miracle Priest. The combo. All I can do is try to pressure him here. He hasn't played the Razar yet, which is like very important. If Razar is in the bottom, he can't kill me. He needs to find Anduin and Razar. So the priest deck works. I don't like seeing that. I mean, But then again, I wanna pressure him. He can't heal himself. He has no circle. I don't think he can deal any damage to me except like with the 0 power. That is like unbelievable. It's like the best most. Oh, you're kidding me.
What would Uther do? Which path to choose?
I still like, I think, the Sunkeeper. I mean, here's another Dragonfire potion, it is what it is, I guess. I like to just prevent the Anduin if possible. That's very scary. Like, none of these minions die to Anduin, that's very important. But he still has a Dragonfire potion, which is definitely the scariest. Okay. Actually, really like this. Again, this one doesn't die to Anduin, and he doesn't die to Dragonfire potion. And next turn I play the Tyrion, so when he goes Anduin, I have the superhero power. Like, I have the Ashbringer available. And I can top deck Consecration. Interesting, he's not going for it. I really expected him. I mean, it's very likely that I would just kill him. Sure, death is a possibility. Okay. Oh baby. Oh my god, what a juicy win. Perfect. Pretty sure he got unlucky. I don't know what his hand was, but I expected Razar was in the bottom of his deck. He could easily have Anduin in his hand, but I never gave him the opportunity for good Anduin development. And yeah, easy. And that's it for today's deck video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. As always, I'll be back tomorrow with another video. Make sure to check out my daily streams, link to that is in the description. If you enjoyed this video, leave me a like, comment and subscribe. See you guys tomorrow. Have a nice day and peace!